So hi, now I'm planning to install Peppermint operating system using VirtualBox. So first you have to double click this application, which is the Oracle VM VirtualBox. And then it says here warning, you could just eject this one. So in order to create operating system here in VirtualBox, you have to click first the new icon here. So click. Since I'm planning to install Peppermint Linux operating system, I'm going to put my surname first and then the operating system that I'm planning to install, which is the Peppermint. So as you can see, it's a 64-bit. The type of Linux and the version is automatically allocated here. So after that, you could just click next. And then the recommended memory size is 1 gig. Well, it's up to you if you're going to add additional recommended additional size, but for me, I'm going to stick with it. So click next. And of course, we have to click create a virtual hard disk now. And then the hard disk file type was VDI, or the VirtualBox disk image. And then the storage and physical hard disk was, it's either dynamically allocated or fixed size. So well, it's up to you. So I'm going to dynamically allocated. So the file location and size, 10 gig. So next. So as you can see here, the Peppermint is now created. So there are two things that you're going to do. So it's up to you if you're going to choose settings and go to storage and click the ISO file, or you could go to start icon. So loading. So select startup disk. So it says here that please select a virtual optical disk file or physical optical drive containing a disk to start your new virtual machine. So you go here. So you can see there's a folder, and then so I go to desktop operating system, click Peppermint ISO files, then open, and then start. So as you can see, this will always pop up or show up in the virtual screen. You could just wait, I'm going to maximize the screen. So you could just eject this one, and then this is the Peppermint screen. Click the page down in your keyboard, so here, and then click enter, because I'm going to install the Peppermint operating system here. So enter. So Peppermint Linux operating system is a cloud-centric OS based on Lubuntu, a derivative of the Ubuntu Linux operating system that uses the LXD desktop environment. So as you can see, so Peppermint's developers have written about their principles of providing a familiar environment for newcomers to Linux, so which requires a relatively low hardware resources to run. So now the welcome screen pop up. So this has a language setup. I'm going to choose English since it is a universal language. So continue, click continue, and then ignore this. You just continue. So the installation type, So install now. So you could just click continue. So where are you? You could just click continue again. And click enter button. So the contents of the Peppermint operating system is wait. So here, who are you? In who are you screen, you could just type your name. So I'm going to put my name. Oops. And then pick username, Michelle. So your computer's name. And then choose a password. So I'm going to put my password. And then after that, click enter. So it's loading. So the contents of Peppermint was the design principles, nomenclature, history, the developers, package, software, the release history and their meaning, and of course the release of this operating system. So now we go to the design principles while waiting. While the welcome to Peppermint screen is copying files. So it says here, what is Peppermint? Actually, it is a super fast Linux operating system designed to be stable and lightweight. Peppermint is an open source project. Peppermint 8 is built on a long-term support code base, making it fully supported until 2021. And Team Peppermint have our own Jesus. So Peppermint operating system ships with few native applications and a traditional desktop interface. So what originally made Peppermint unique is its own approach to creating a hybrid desktop that integrates both cloud and local applications in place of traditionally native applications for common tasks or the word processing, image editing. It ships with a customized applications. So this it says, as you can see, ICE is the key feature. So ICE is a Peppermint own utility for integrating web apps into the system menu and displaying them as though they are locally installed applications. So ICE is a site-specific browser framework that launches. So here, while installing or copying files, the Peppermint settings panel here, and then our recent cloud referred to Peppermint operating system as Linux answer to the Google Chromebook. So Peppermint OS 5 on YouTube, Google's Chromebooks have created a new class of cloud computing device that users are now familiar with. So with Peppermint operating system, the open source Chromium project is used as a way to enable a site-specific browser for cloud applications. So instead of opening up a browser and then visiting an application site, there is a dedicated browser window that is integrated into the system for application. So as you can see here, this is the featured software. So browse through 80,000 plus free packages in the software manager and install what you want with a single click. So popular cups include LibreOffice, GIMP, OpenShots, Inkscape, Blender, Theme, Kodi, Thunderbird, Sketch, etc. So more advanced users. So in the Peppermint community, there is several social outlets including Facebook, Google, Twitter, and of course they are a friendly community forum. And then so despite primarily being a project aimed at marrying the cloud to the desktop, it is nonetheless possible for users to install applications natively from Ubuntu-compatible repositories, allowing one to run cloud-based application right alongside desktop software. Like any other Linux distro, one can install packages like what I said, the LibreOffice, GIMP, VLC, Skype, and etc. So Peppermint is an Ubuntu spin and supports whatever is possible in Ubuntu. So the nomenclature of Peppermint. So Peppermint's namesake is Linux Mint. So the developers originally wanted to make use of configuration and utility source from Linux Mint, coupled with an environment that was less demanding on resources and more focused on web integration. So they felt that the concept was a spicier version of Mint, so the name Peppermint was a natural fit. So while Linux Mint is known for its cinnamon desktop, Peppermint uses something that is significantly more lightweight with a default desktop that is based on LXDE. So this is LXDE. This is a distro that has been consistently releasing updates on a decent cadence since at least 2010, when Peppermint 1.0 was first released. So Peppermint operating system was initially conceived at the Black Rose pub in Hendersonville, NC, or North California, USA, during a night of drinking and discussion about the future of desktop Linux. So Peppermint was originally designed to be a social media-centric distribution. So the pre-alpha development builds consisted of a wide array of potential directions before the decision to fork Lubuntu was made. There was a quite bit of experimentation with KDE, E17, Adobe Air, and several different code bases during January and February 2010. So the alpha builds using the Lubuntu 10.4 code base started in March 2010. So Peppermint was released to a small group of private beta testers in April 2010, where it remained private until the first public release. So here, the installation now is complete. So you could just restart now. So the restart screen. So there are 2, 4, 6. There are 9 versions of Peppermint. We have the Peppermint 1, Peppermint Ice, Peppermint 2, Peppermint 3, Peppermint Mint 4, Peppermint 5, 6, 7, 8. So the developer of Peppermint is Peppermint and the LLC. So, ta-da! So my username was pop up. You could just create the, or put your input password and then click enter. So wait. So the Peppermint 8 was the latest release version of Peppermint. So this is the desktop environment of Peppermint. As you can see, the logo. This is the menu, the Chromium, web browser, the files, the terminal, use the command line, and then VLC media player is already installed. This is the action, the security, the battery, the time, the volume. So here, click menu. So under the menu bar, as you can see here, this is all, it indicated all applications such as accessories, games, graphics, internet, office preferences, sound and video, and then the system tools. So under office, just a Google Drive and everything. So that is the Peppermint operating system. So in addition to that, there are 10 developers of Peppermint: Mark Gribbs, Brian Tomlinson, Andy Mitchell, Magdalene, Graeme Duncan, John Lennon, Shane Remington, Kendall Weaver. So Kendall Weaver was the co-founder and former CEO of Peppermint operating system. So under the package software Peppermint, before I forgot, so it has a cloud applications and native applications. So here, so that's the Peppermint operating system. Thank you.